Extract 1 Brutus he greets me well. To Pindarus, your master, Pindarus, in his own change, or by ill officers, hath given me some worthy cause to wish things done undone. But if he be at hand I shall be satisfied. 1. Who was Pindarus? Name his master. What message does he convey to Brutus? Answer. Pindarus was a servant. His master was Cassius. The message that he wished to convey to Brutus was that his master Cassius wanted to meet Brutus to convey to him his dissatisfaction with some of the decisions Brutus. 2. Render the following lines in your own words. In his own change, or by ill officers, hath given me some worthy cause to wish things done undone. Answer. The rendering of the above lines in my own words is as under. Brutus tells the servant of Cassius, Pindarus, that his master Cassius had done things which he should not have done. Brutus says that Cassius had done these things either because his attitude towards Brutus had changed or because he was given some incorrect advice by his subordinate officers. 3. Give 2 reasons to explain why the master of Pindarus did some things or did not do other things. Answer. According to Brutus, the master of Pindarus, Cassius, did not do some things or did not do other things for the following reasons. That his attitude towards Brutus had changed. That is, he was now less friendly towards Brutus. B. That his subordinate officers had misled him into doing or not doing things. 4. What does Pindarus say about his master to Brutus after the extract? How did the master receive Lucilius? Answer. Pindarus, Cassius' servant, is certain that Cassius' explanation will satisfy Brutus. He doesn't doubt that his noble master will prove to be what he is, an admirable and honorable man. Lucilius tells Brutus that Cassius received him courteously and with respect. However, Lucilius told Brutus that he felt that the reception that he got from Cassius did not have the normal warmth and friendship that Cassius normally gave a messenger of Brutus. 5. Where does this scene take place? Why are Brutus and Cassius here? Answer. This scene takes place in Sardis. Sardis is the place where the armies of Brutus and Antony meet. Brutus and Cassius are here so that they can regroup their armies in Sardis. Also, Brutus and Cassius were there to reconcile some differences that had arisen between them. Extract 2 Brutus, thou hast described a hot friend cooling. Ever note, Lucilius, when love begins to sicken and decay, it useth an enforced ceremony. There are no tricks in plain and simple faith. But hollow men, like horses hot at hand, make gallant show and promise of their mettle. But when they should endure the bloody spur they fall their crests, and, like deceitful jades, sink in the trial. Comes his army on. 1. Who has just described whom? What is meant by a hot friend cooling? Answer. Brutus has just described his friend Cassius. By saying a hot friend cooling, Brutus means that the great friendship that he had with Cassius is now showing signs of coming to an end. He says that strained politeness is an indication of the cooling of relationships. 2. When love begins to decline, what happens? Which is said in the extract about sincere friendship? Answer. When love begins to decline in a friendship, a strained politeness comes into the relationship. When the relationship becomes strained, then men make a show about doing anything for a friend. However, when it comes to living up to the promises, they back off. Their behavior is like horses which appear to be spirited and brave but are unable to respond to the spur. 3. Explain how men who are insincere in their friendship may be compared to a horse. Answer. Men who are insincere in their friendship may be compared to a horse in the sense that they initially put on a gallant show and promise great things, like a horse displaying its mettle. But when faced with challenges or difficulties, symbolized by the bloody spur, They falter and fail to live up to their earlier promises, just like a deceitful horse might falter in a trial. 4. Whom is Brutus referring to as an insincere friend? What has happened to their friendship now? Answer. Brutus is referring to Cassius as an insincere friend. Their friendship has become strained and deteriorated due to misunderstandings and grievances. Brutus feels that Cassius has not been acting with the same genuine spirit of camaraderie and integrity that he once showed. This tension comes to a head in the subsequent scene, Act 4, Scene E, where Brutus accuses Cassius of corruption and accepting bribes, and they have a heated argument. Brutus believes that Cassius's actions undermine the noble cause they are fighting for. And this perceived betrayal has caused a rift in their relationship. The friendship, once based on mutual respect and shared ideals, is now marred by mistrust and disappointment. 5. Compare the relationship between Brutus and Cassius to that between Antony and Octavius. Answer. Brutus and Cassius. Foundation. Brutus is motivated by honor and the Republic's ideals. Cassius by envy and ambition. Trust and conflict. Their relationship is marked by camaraderie but marred by mistrust. They have significant arguments, such as over bribery and strategy, indicating underlying tensions. Antony and Octavius. Power dynamics. Antony is a seasoned leader seeking vengeance for Caesar. Octavius is Caesar's heir, politically astute and determined. Pragmatic alliance. Their relationship is strategic rather than personal. They work together out of necessity, with clear power struggles and strategic conflicts. Comparison. Motivations. Brutus and Cassius are driven by personal and ideological reasons, while Antony and Octavius are united by political necessity. Conflict. Brutus and Cassius's conflicts are personal and ideological. Antony and Octavius's are strategic and power related. Extract 3 Cassius Brutus. This sober form of yours hides wrongs. And when you do them, Brutus Cassius, be content, speak your griefs softly. I do know you well. Before the eyes of both our armies here, which should perceive nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle, bid them move away. Then in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs. And I will give you audience. 1. Which sober form of Brutus is referred to by Cassius? What are the wrongs? How does the sober form hide the wrongs? Answer. Cassius refers to Brutus' calm, stoic demeanor, which he suggests hides Brutus' wrongdoings under the guise of rational and just behavior. The wrongs could refer to any grievances or issues between Cassius and Brutus, which Cassius believes Brutus is hiding behind his calm exterior. Brutus uses this sober form to his advantage by maintaining moral high ground and authority, especially in disputes, making it difficult for others to question his actions without seeming to challenge his integrity. 2. What precautions does Brutus suggest to take in the situation in which Brutus and Cassius are? Answer. The precaution that Brutus suggests is that their respective armies should not see them argue and disagree. According to Brutus, if they saw them arguing, the armies would be demoralized. In order for their arguments to be in private, Brutus and Cassius tell their armies to move a little away. They decide to move inside a tent to continue their debate. They tell the guard outside the tent not to let anyone in. 3. Which 2 armies are referred to? Why should they perceive nothing but love? Answer. The armies of Brutus and Cassius which have assembled in Sardis are referred to here. They should perceive nothing but love, because if they saw their leaders fighting, they would get demoralized. 4. What is meant by, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you an audience? Answers. These words are spoken by Brutus and addressed to Cassius when Cassius tells Brutus that he was treated unfairly by Brutus. Brutus means that he wanted to hear a more detailed explanation from Cassius on the reasons for the friction in the relationship between them. He wanted the armies to move a little away and for them to move into the tent so that he could understand the grievance that Cassius had, in a more detailed manner. 5. After this extract, Cassius and Brutus give instructions to Pindarus and Lucius. What instructions does each of them give? Answer. Cassius instructs Pindarus to tell the commander of this army to move a little away from the tent of Brutus. Brutus also instructs Lucius to inform the commander of his army to move the army away from his tent. He also asks Lucius to see that no one enters the tent when Cassius and Brutus are under discussion. 6. How does this scene indicate a lack of unity among the conspirators? Answer. Cassius's charge against Brutus that he was wronged by Brutus shows a crack in the unity between the two. The fact that they had to ask their armies to move away from them so that they could not be overheard, and the posting of a guard outside Brutus's tent so that no one would enter the tent and overhear their conversation shows that there was a lack of unity between the two.